Welcome back to Recap Wiz. Today, we will be looking at a science fiction mystery movie called Coherence. Hold on to your seats because we're going on a wild ride. The movie starts with Emily driving and talking to her boyfriend Kevin. The conversation gets cut when they lose the phone signal. After this, her phone cracks. Mike and Lee are a couple and have invited their friends for dinner at their house. Their guests are Emily and Kevin, Hugh and Beth, Amir and Lori. The group arrives at Mike and Lee's residence. Beth reveals her custom-made drops, a potent blend of various chemicals, including a touch of horse tranquilizer, which she uses to take the edge off. None of their mobile phones have a signal, and there's no internet access at the house. Emily brings up a past Comet event, recalling a woman who insisted her husband was an imposter because she had allegedly killed him the previous day. Adding to the strange occurrences, Hugh mentions that his phone suddenly shattered as well. Kevin asks Emily if she wants to come with him on his business trip to Vietnam, but she is hesitant. Kevin and Lori have dated each other in the past, and she wants him back. Amir is presently dating Lori. Mike has had a history of drinking problems, which he has overcome. Mike and Beth have had an affair 12 years ago. Everyone but Hugh knows about this. A sudden power outage plunges the gathering into darkness. The hosts improvise with blue glow sticks for light, and everyone heads outside, discovering a house up the street that still has power. Upon returning, they notice a broken glass they hadn't seen before. Hugh and Amber venture to the lit house hoping to use their phones, and return shortly after with a mysterious box containing a ping pong paddle and photos of themselves. They realize that this house is an alternate version of theirs, also set for a dinner party of 8. Intrigued and unsettled, Emily examines the numbers on the back of the photos, attempting to find a pattern to no avail. The group decides to leave a note for the alternate house. A man approaches the house freaking them out, but he quickly leaves, and they find the same note that they have written already pinned onto their door. Undeterred, Emily, Kevin, Mike, and Lori decide to investigate the other house. There, they encounter doppelgangers with red glow sticks, prompting both groups to hastily flee to their respective homes, or so they think. Emily's group shares their bizarre encounter, realizing that Miller's Comet has split reality and one version will collapse after its passage. Tensions rise as they debate how to handle the alternate house. Mike proposes a drastic plan to eliminate their doubles before the doubles can kill them, while considerations include stealing physics notes from the other Hugh's car to hinder their lookalikes' knowledge. Mike decides to blackmail the other Mike as a strategic move to safeguard critical information. He leaves despite Kevin's attempt to stop him. Lee is fast asleep because Beth gave her the drops. Emily asks if Beth infused any of the drops into the meal to determine if they were all hallucinating. When they had mushrooms at their last party, Beth added some to the spaghetti sauce, but it was a group decision. A debate about whether the drops may result in hallucinations breaks out among the group. Hugh and Beth argue that they couldn't experience such a mass delusion even if they drank the entire bottle between them. The group discovers that Amir and Hugh have vanished along with the book and the box. Hugh and Amir were the first to depart, according to Lori, and they have been acting strangely ever since. She implies that Hugh and Amir were not their pair. Kevin chooses to head out in search of them. Emily stops him, saying no. They now believe that their doubles are not to be trusted. Lee and Beth talk. Lee mentions Mike's drinking problem. Mike gets Emily primed the set of pics, their copy of what was in the box, and hands her scissors. She doesn't cut the pic. Kevin and Lori meet. Beth listens and watches. Lori kisses Kevin. Kevin stops. Beth hints at what happened to Emily. Emily and Kevin talk. She brings up Lori and the hallway. Kevin dismisses Beth's claims. Outside, they hear someone smash Hugh's car window, and they go out to investigate. While outside, Emily meets Kevin near her car and asks if they are okay, and Kevin says yes, and that Lori means nothing. But when she asks about Hugh's car and if anything was taken, Kevin doesn't know what she's talking about. She realizes she's interacting with a Kevin from a different reality. Then she goes back inside. Amir and Hugh arrive at the door. Both of them have blue glow sticks. As they begin telling their story, it is mentioned that Hugh is wearing a different bandage. They claim to have been in a house where everyone had red glow sticks. Hugh reveals the note he wrote. He claims that they found themselves with 2 notes at the other house as well. The group eventually starts to realize that since each of the 2 houses ended up with 2 notes, there are now 4 notes overall, which would indicate that there are more than just the 2 houses. They come to terms with the fact that there are more than just 2 realities, and when they go outside and cross a dark area, they switch between the 2 houses. Upon returning indoors, they devise a plan to distinguish their reality by placing a random marker in front of their house. Implementing this plan, they leave a box containing a random object, photos of themselves, and dice-generated numbers on the back. Upon cross-checking these new numbers with those from the other house's box, Emily makes a startling discovery. The numbers on the notepad don't match her previous entries. After questioning the group, Lee and Beth, who stayed inside, recalled the correct numbers. Kevin and Lori, who stayed with Emily throughout, confirm her memory. Hugh and Amir, who switched realities, remember a 3rd set of numbers, while Mike, who went through reality shifts during the blackmail episode, recalls a 4th set. The situation deteriorates further when a blackmail note arrives. Mike mentions that if there's a dark version of their group, maybe it's them. The note reads, "Beth plus book equals Trinidad Club, don't let it happen, buddy." Mike and Beth had an affair 12 years ago. Hugh gets pissed off. Mike now brings up the fact that they are all from different realities, all of Emily's theories. Hugh gets aggravated and punches Mike. Mike sits up and talks to Emily. He says he's made his set of bad decisions and is now stuck in this reality. Suddenly, another Mike with a green glow stick enters the house. He punches Mike and leaves. Mike's knocked out. Beth gets tensed and has a nosebleed. It drips on Lori. Lori freaks out as she can't stand blood, and Kevin comforts her. Emily opens the door to see a note that reads, "Hey there, don't mean to freak you guys, but we just wanted to borrow your phone for 5 minutes tops. Thanks." Emily Prime gets frustrated and leaves. She wanders from one reality to another. Each of the realities has the group fighting over something or the other. She finds several where things are even worse. Finally, she stumbles upon a reality where they are not fighting and no one seems aware of the split. In this reality, Emily had agreed to go to Vietnam with Kevin at the beginning of the evening, and their relationship had stayed strong. Also, they have never had any of the power cuts. Remember, it's the power cut that makes them head out and wander into the dark zone. No power cut during the night means this group never left the house. The group is intact and hence having a normal evening. She plans to replace this reality's Emily. Emily Prime sneaks into this house. She picks up Beth's drops. The group hears a noise, a car window breaking. Emily Prime has broken Hugh's car window. They go out to check. Hugh's car is broken. Emily from the current reality goes to check on her car. Emily Prime sneaks up on her and drugs her with the drops, throws her in the trunk, and locks the boot. She goes back in to join the rest of the gang. Because Emily was missing for a while, they asked where she was. She gives an excuse, saying she was watching the comet. So the rest of them decide to step out to watch the comet. They watch the comet but get back in. Emily from this reality has crawled back into the house, somehow, from the trunk. Emily sees her crawling into the bathroom, strikes her double with the toilet tank cover, and dumps her in the bathtub. During the scuffle, she drops her ring. Emily Prime takes the ring from her double, wears it, and steps out. She faints. She wakes up the next morning on the sofa. Lee is preparing breakfast and Beth is getting done with the shower. Emily's unconscious body is not in the bathroom. Emily Prime steps out. Kevin meets her, gives her the ring he says he found in the bathroom, and asks if she's Ock. Emily has 2 rings now. Kevin's phone rings, noting the call is curiously coming from Emily's number. While listening to the caller, he gives a suspicious look towards Emily Prime, and she stares back with guilt. The film ends.